Let me get that out.
Yeah, get that
Let me
out.
get that out.
You coming, Pacquiao?
All right.
You coming?
First question, Barrios. Just give us an update on training camp.
Camp's camp. I mean, I'm already, we're 3 weeks out now. I was patiently waiting. Been having a great camp here with Bob, Rich Barrios, my sister.
Don't forget Pops.
Pops.
Pops used to train him and his sister since they're high.
Come
Give
at,
him credit.
Come at Don here. We got him here, so it's been good.
Barrios, at this weight class, 147, does it fit you better, as you got older? You were fighting at a very low weight class, which might have been, weight drain for you. Do you feel comfortable at this weight better than all the others?
Right now, yeah. I turned pro at 122. Just slowly, I'll grow all the weight classes with time. Right now, I feel strong at 147. I feel like I really have filled out to this weight class, and so this is my this is the division that I focus on for these next couple of years. And then until we make the decision to move up, I plan on accomplishing as much as I can at welterweight.
Mario, how big do you think the inactivity of Pacquiao is going to play on this fight? I know you're preparing for the best version of him regardless, right?
Yeah, I think inactivity, for most fighters, even in their prime, it plays a big factor in their fights. But especially given his age, I think I know we're just gonna see on fight night. But regardless, that's not something I'm trying to even think of during camp. I'm just trying to prepare for the best version of Pacquiao that I might possibly see.
Do you think that a lot of fans don't think that he's worthy of getting a title shot? What's your feelings on that? Because he's been inactive for so long.
Yeah.
I got to jump in here. When they say that he's an icon, worthy, there's nobody more worthy of this opportunity than Manny Pacquiao, what he's given to the sport. And secondly, about inactivity. Remember this. It can work in two ways. I've been in this game a long, long time. Yes, most people would say you'd want to err on the side of caution of having activity, but sometimes when you're an older guy, like James Toney, I did a lot of camps with James Toney, when they take a long time off and everybody goes, oh, he's shot. Guess what? With that long time off, he came back, he won the light heavyweight championship, he won the cruiserweight championship, and he won the heavyweight championship of the world. So you got to take that with a caveat, because like I said, sometimes it can work this way or it can work that way. And that's why it's going to be an interesting and a great fight for everybody to watch. And he's an icon. But at the end of the day, Al Azteca is coming out victorious. July 19th. Take that to the bank.
And rest is key.
Yes.
Rest is key for some of these guys that been out of the ring. He's an older guy. Maybe he needed that rest.
That's like I said. I was in camp. I did, and you know that, Freddie. I was in and around your gym with James Toney. That's why we know Manny Pacquiao real well. We got a great plan. We got Dom. We got Rich Barrios. We got his pops. We put a great plan together. We got a great team. And like I said, with all those minds coming together, there's nothing short of coming out victorious with Al Azteca, the best, the truth. All these people talk. You don't become a two-time world champion in two weight classes by accident. Very few people have ever done that. Give this man his credit.
Now, with that being said, what does it feel like to fight an icon like Manny Pacquiao?
Originally getting the fight, I was pretty blown away. But during training camp and everything, I'm not training with the mentality that I'm getting ready, to fight an icon, to fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, trying to fight for my title. So I respect everything he's done in the sport. Even the person he is outside of the ring. But come fight night, all that respect, it's not going to be there. It's all smiles, between both of us for right now. But I know on fight night, we're both going in there with bad intentions. He's going in there trying to, take my title, and I got to do whatever it takes to make sure he doesn't.
Mario, you've been a part of big fights, big events before. I know you say, look, this is all about business regardless of who the man is, but it must have felt a little bit different. We haven't seen Manny Pacquiao in years, in 4+ years. So for him to come back with all his accolades, you must have been sort of chomping at the bit, ready to go.
I was very excited to one, it was cool to even know that he knew who I was, that he wanted to fight me. I think it's a tremendous honor. at first I was a little like, I don't know if this is I don't know whether to take it as like respect or disrespect, you know, because like he wanted me, but you know, regardless, I think it's great for boxing. You know, he's trying to do something that not a lot of fighters have. You know, so as a fighter, I respect it, but again, you know, I'm the champion for a reason, and just looking to continue on proving, you know, why, you know, I'm holding the WBC belt.
You mentioned now that maybe you don't know how to take it, respect or disrespect. If it is the disrespect, is it important for you to go out there and make a statement and show that you look, I am the younger man, I am the champion for a reason, two-time two-weight world champion. You've been on.
I like hearing that. Say that again. Two-time. Oh, I like hearing that.
You've been on these stages before. Is it important for you to assert yourself in this fight and show, look, this is where we're at now?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, just looking, you know, to going out there, just, you know, showcasing my skill, you know, showcasing, you know, my youth, just using, you know, any advantage that I have, you know, to make sure, like, again, my hand is raised at the end of the night.
Mario, you are facing a living legend. What do you think is the biggest obstacle or challenge that he brings to the table, even at this point in his career?
I think, you know, everybody can say for themselves, you know, his movement, you know, his hand speed. You know, both of those are looking very on point right now. People have been tagging me in all types of videos of his trainings and everything. But I think that was always, you know, one of the main things that has always made him a great fighter. You know, in all the divisions he competed in, he brought something different. You know, his style is like, it's not an easy style, you know, to replicate. And even, you know, with us during sparring, you know, it's hard to just get one sparring partner that fights exactly like how Pacquiao fights. So I think that's one of the things that has made him so successful, and is the reason why, you know, he's in the position that he is.
It's one of the first times that you're defending your title. How are you training differently for this event? I know that you probably are already ready now, but you know, how are you mentally trained for a defense, and especially against someone like Pacquiao?
Yeah, just treating it as, you know, every other fight. Yeah, and I have always trained for every single one of my fights as if, you know, it was a world title defense, or if I was fighting for a world title. And this one is no different. You know, I know who I'm going against, and yeah, I know the threat he is inside the ring. But like I said, I know with Bob, with Richard, you know, with my dad, my sister here, I know everything we're working on in the gym. As long as I go out and execute what we want to, I know I'll be victorious. And
last question for me is, I know you're notorious for like coming out with the best walkout. Like, what's your walkout gonna be looking like?
Still bringing, you know, those indigenous roots with me. You know, I love, you know, bringing that, showcasing that. I always tell people, you know, something you feel, you know, whenever I walk out. And so yeah, we got something special planned.
What's your walkout song?
My walkout song, usually it's a drummer's. They'll be playing one of the ancestral songs.
Okay.
So,
Well, good luck to you.
Mario, Bob, I'd like to ask you both about the training camp here in Las Vegas leading up to the fight.
Well, for me, it's an honor and a pleasure to work with him, because one thing about his father, you know, from day one when we first got him, me and Louis Cubas Jr., like I said, the dad, he raised a pit bull. I can remember from the first fight with this kid, when we first seen him, he was quiet, you know, reserved to himself. But when he did that first fight, his pro debut, me and Louis Cubas, we looked at each other and said, boy, we got something on our hands here. And I give a lot of credit to his father, raised him like a pit bull. But now, obviously, for this camp, me, Rich, T.O. Don, everybody get a little bit of T.O. Don. Don't forget about that.
East Oakland.
Yeah, East Oakland, right?
That's right, baby. Bay Area.
So we put some great things together. You know, T.O. Don worked with Virgil Hunter for a long time, and we still take all the things that we learned from Virg and different guys, and what has got him to this point now. And the camp has been fantastic. Richard Barrios has done a great job. His father's done a great job. Everybody's done a great job. We all have a little piece in it. And at the end of the day, he put in the work. He's going to be victorious July 19th. Like I said, take it to the bank.
Barrios, your sister's been working your camps. You guys grew up together. You guys started together. She was a beast growing up, knocking people out. Now she's in your corner. How important is it to have her here and have her in your camps these last few fights?
That's very important. She's being shy right now. She's not trying to be on camera. But yeah, me and my sister, we started this journey together boxing. I was 6 years old. She was 8. And, we had always been in each other's corners, since the very beginning. When she was professional, I was in hers. And so having her back in mind, these last 2 years, it means the most. I don't think anybody knows me better in and out of the ring, than my sister. So, having her support and just having her there, to help out in camp and just, having that support system, it means everything to me.
And she might be more of a pit bull than him. We're not sure. We didn't want to bring her in for sparring because we might not have made it to the fight, so we had to separate them two.
Mario, can I get your thoughts on what Bob said about the training camp?
Yeah, I think Bob said it best. To me, it's been a tremendous camp. I think it's very rare when I think us fighters have very smooth camps. No injuries, we've had tremendous sparring. Everything has just been lined up, and I'm very happy with the way things have gone. Now we're 3 weeks out. Most of the hard work is already put in, and I'm very happy with what we have gotten done so far.
How does it feel to be on? You've now done you were on the Jake Paul undercard, which was arguably your fight was the fight of the year, regardless.
Yeah.
And
Let's go. Yeah, say that again. Fight of the year.
Fight of the year.
I like
of 2024. But you fought Tank. You're constantly on big stages. Now you're fighting Pacquiao. How does it feel just from a career standpoint of you always getting these big stage fights?
I think I have a tremendous team behind me. Always big thank you Al Heyman, managers Luis De Puga Jr., Bob Santos. I think as a fighter, we're only able to get as far as we can. If we have a great team behind us. I've been very fortunate, to be with some of the best in the business from the beginning, and I just always just stayed to myself. I just stayed in the gym. I just stayed focused. And I think that's the reason why I've been able to get these opportunities, and I continue to just show up, to give it my 100% every time, regardless of what that is that day. I make sure I give it with my fights, and it's from being now on that Jake Paul undercard, that was a little different. It was just kind of the audience to reach. And but yeah, I'm very very thankful to be here. I think that fight did a lot for my career, just as far as viewers and everything. And now now we have this big fight. So yeah.
How long did it take you to recover from that fight? Because that was one hell of a war.
Yeah, it was I feel like I got hit by a truck for a couple of days. Yeah, no, some fights, they take a lot more from us, and I know that fight, being able, we took a good amount from each other, but luckily there was no serious injuries, with either of us. Within a couple of days, I was back normal and everything, but I definitely took a couple weeks off after that fight just to rest my body, and I was back in the gym in December.
Mario, if there was one thing you could say directly to Pacquiao, what would it be? He's here right now.
I'm not much of a talker. Even whenever we see each other, it's all smiles. He's a very unserious dude, and we're both professionals of the sport. I'm expecting a hell of a fight come January 19th. Yeah, 19th.
He ain't a talker, but I'm a talker.
How do you guys visualize
Hold on,
July
I want to
19th
say something for Pacquiao. Pacquiao, you had your time. Now it's Al Azteca time. We appreciate the run, but it's his time. And it's not because Pacquiao don't have the hand speed, the foot speed, we've seen all that, and obviously he's got the IQ and he's got the experience. But this man is hungry, he's determined, and he's going to take it to the next level, and he's going to prove that out, like I said, July 19th. Manny, you know that. Freddie, you know that too.
Mario, I have one more for you. Many of the greatest fighters in the world have fought a couple of miles from here in Las Vegas. What does it mean to have this fight here in Las Vegas on July 19th?
It's awesome. This is the second time I'll be headlining here in Vegas. The first time I've ever headlined at the MGM, and it's one of my early fights was on the very first PBC card. When Darman fought Robert Guerrero, And you know, now being able to say, you know, at 30, you know, now I'm like headlining at the MGM. It's been a hell of a journey. Like I said, I'm very happy to, you know, to like be in this position, and it makes me yeah, just, you know, just proud of everything I've been able to accomplish. And but yeah, you know, it's not over. You know, there's still like a lot of work, you know, I'm planning on doing. And yeah, just another one of those like notches in the belt.
Let's talk San Antonio boxing hotbed right now. You got Bam, yourself, other guys and other gals are coming out. Talk about San Antonio, the boxing scene, and your people over there.
Yeah, big 2-0 shit.
That's right.
You know, we got the BAM unifying on the same night, July 19th. So you know, me and BAM, we grew up together. I got a lot of love for him and his family. And I'm very proud of everything, you know, he's done, and I got no doubt in my mind, you know, he's gonna take, you know, another title back to San Antonio that night. Yeah, we got Ramon Cardenas. You know, he put on a hell of a fight against Inoue. I think you know, he got to show you know, what he brings, you know, to the table, and he got to really just show everybody, you know, his talent. But man, like San Antonio has always been a hotbed, you know, for boxing, and I think, you know, people are really starting to take notice and really see that.
That's right. All right, guys. Last question. We're gonna do a few.